Imagine you're standing in a quiet old church. There's gold-plated walls, intricate carvings, smoke coming from candles. There are religious icons, hundreds of them. There are saints, and especially the Virgin Mary. And you're scanning the back of the altar when, whoa, what catches your eye? A life-size replica of a little baby made of wax. And this wax baby is hanging from that gold-plated wall covered with icons. It's behind the altar, and you just wonder what's going on here. What is being worshipped? Is this some kind of sacrificial offering? And you almost feel a little guilty looking at them. And as you continue to look, you see there are other wax body parts. There's an arm and a leg and an eye and an ear and even a heart. And you wonder what is going on. They obviously have a profound meaning. And my guilt is not one of sacrilege. I mean, they're hanging there in the open. People have put them out there, with devotion. But I just can't help, I'm stepping in on the privacy, like the mom who's lost her baby. I found out, believe it or not, it's a thank you note. It's a Greek Orthodox Ex-Voto offering. And it's a way of saying thanks. Thanks for a prayer or a wish that has been fulfilled. And it is odd, but it's oddly fascinating as well. I want to investigate that today. Cyprus is located on the far western side of the Mediterranean. It's a divided island with Turkish Muslims in the north and Greek Orthodox Cypriots in the south. The Cypriots are culturally and technically European, though the island is a crossroads of culture and religion. The historical capital of Nicosia is an ancient walled city, also divided between northern Turks and southern Greek Cypriots. This memory of the wax baby goes back to the first month my family moved to Cyprus, ready for a new adventure at the American International School located in Nicosia. And we had been exploring the old city, the walled city of Nicosia, the divided city, trying out the heroes and window shopping. There's an historical vibe here, even before you wander off the beaten path. Because at the end of these winding streets, you eventually run into it, the UN buffer zone. A map pinned above the street shows the city divided. On one side, Cypriot Christians, just a block over, Turkish Muslims. Close enough to hear, though the people seem to stay hidden from view. There's a strange quiet here. Old, bullet-pocked buildings stand silent in the no man's land. Their windows are dark, their walls slowly crumbling into history. A faded United Nations sign marks the edge of the buffer zone, more of a symbol of stalemate than peace. Through coils of barbed wire, you glimpse decaying houses with shattered roofs and overgrown courtyards, frozen in time, untouched for decades. A lonely street snakes through the buffer zone, leading nowhere. You get the feeling no one's walked it freely in years. Across the divide, you make out a mosque, minarets rising above the rooftops like a watchtower. A Turkish apartment building looms beyond plain and utilitarian. No one waves, no one looks back. Laundry hangs outside the windows. Visiting this part of town sets a mood. It definitely makes you tense. You can feel a little tightening in your chest. It also makes you very curious about just what is the history there. You feel like an intruder. You're standing so close to what once was and still is sort of the front line. And you stare across at what is, from your side, considered to be the enemy, through walls, through a fence, through barbed wire, and it's an eerie feeling. And then the moment shifts. We continue, still beyond the tourist bubble. The sidewalks are uneven, the paint is peeling, but there's a sense of permanence, of people who stayed, who didn't leave when the maps were redrawn. We walk slowly as a family. Hand-painted signs point to shops that may or may not still be open. An old church, like something from the medieval period. There's no rush here, just routine, just life, stitched together through decades of change. And then we come upon it. The Church of Faneromeni. It rises from the street with quiet confidence, worn by time, but not diminished by it. Its stones carry the memory of prayers of loss, of resilience. Faneromeni means the revealed one, a name tied to tradition, where an icon of the Virgin Mary is said to have appeared over the ruins of a monastery destroyed during the Ottoman conquest of Nicosia in 1571. Stepping inside feels like slipping into another era. Built in the 16th century, the church has seen it all: Ottoman rule, even a stint as a mosque. Today, it's a Greek Orthodox sanctuary, a calm haven in busy Nicosia. We step through heavy doors into incense, candlelight, and a silence that almost feels sacred. It's cool and dim inside, the kind of sacred stillness that feels full of ancient secrets. Golden icons line the walls, wax drips quietly in the background, then something stops us. On the back walls, behind the altar, tucked among candles and icons, are wax body parts, hands, legs, an ear, even a full wax baby. Yes, I still have a photo of that baby. It was eerie and somehow beautiful, and that's when it clicked. These weren't odd decorations. They were offerings and symbols of faith. Someone was speaking to the divine, praying for a miracle. Ex-Votos are physical thank yous for divine help, like a wax arm after a broken bone heals, or a recovery from a heart attack. The wax symbolizes our own fragility, bendable, breakable, meltable. It's a fitting material to express both vulnerability and gratitude. Speaking of wax legs, here's a true story, or a legend would be more apropos. A man in rural Greece loses his leg in a farming accident. Time passes, and he's walking again. No surgery, no prosthetic, just what many call a miracle. So what does he do? He heads to a shrine for St. George, the patron saint of healing, and leaves a wax leg in thanks, a tribute to faith and recovery. Okay, so you may be thinking, does God really need a visual? Maybe not, but these wax ex-votos are humankind's attempt to make the invisible visible. People like to give something tangible to the divine. It's our way of bridging the physical with the spiritual. At the end of the day, leaving a wax body part is pretty strange, especially if it's a full life-size baby. It's not just about praying, it's about giving something real in return for divine help. But let's be real, wax legs aren't the weirdest thing. Across centuries and cultures, people have been offering body parts to the gods. It's strange, it's sacred, and it's surprisingly human. Across the world, religions have found surprisingly literal ways to express spiritual needs. In Catholicism, especially in Italy and Spain, shrines receive wax or metal arms, legs, and hearts as offerings. These ex-votos are tokens of thanks for healing or divine protection. In Hinduism, temples sometimes display metal hands, eyes, or feet left by devotees seeking blessings. West African spiritual traditions also incorporate body part figurines crafted from wood, clay, or metal into healing rituals. In Haitian voodoo, offerings may include small tokens shaped like body parts, not just the complete bodies, especially when the prayer is focused on healing. The ancient Greeks and Romans were well ahead of the trend. Worshippers at temples of Asclepius left behind everything from wax feet to bronze livers in hopes of divine aid. The body may have been failing, but the craftsmanship remarkably intact. Elsewhere, similar practices persist. The ancient Egyptians used small figurines for spiritual protection. In Thailand, body part shaped amulets are believed to offer blessings. And in Japan, some Shinto plaques feature drawings of afflicted limbs as if politely pointing out the problem area. The more you look around, the more you realize we're all seeking the same thing. Whether it's a wax hand in Greece, a metal leg in India, or wooden figures in Brazil, humanity's desire for healing, protection, and a desire for divine connection is almost universal. These offerings, strange as they might seem, reflect a shared belief in the power of the divine to intervene in our physical world. And these videos are for the curious, for anyone drawn to the odd, the sacred, and the places where human ritual meets deeper meaning. You don't have to be religious to find something moving in the way we try to reach out to something beyond ourselves. For people who wrestle with the rules and rituals, with the dogma and doctrine of organized human-made religion, but they still feel that quiet pull towards something greater. If you ever felt caught between skepticism and longing, you're not alone. I promise you, you are not alone. So, while leaving a wax body part, an arm or a leg at a shrine might feel unusual at first, it's part of a much broader human tradition. Across cultures and religions, people have long been making physical offerings as a way of saying, help me, protect me, heal me. In the end, it's all about human vulnerability and the hope that something greater than us is looking out for us. Thank you.